Welcome to the NGEN Markets updates. We now show all your desktop share links in a share link manager that can now be accessed on the top right of the application. You can now see the list of the desktop links you have created so far. You can see the expiry, the name, the URL, and the copy button. You can now also renew the share links for a further 7 days by clicking on this renew icon next to any share links. The portfolio analytics will now show a checkbox which is in the top right corner in the asset allocation overview tab, indicating the derivative positions in any of the portfolio holdings. You can now choose to consider them in the Asset Allocation Calculations tab. The Compare Securities section within Rolling Analysis tab, you can now download all the statistics in an Excel for rolling analysis. So what you can do is you can click on this icon here, and once you have clicked, you can now see the downloaded function will show the data sets in an Excel format. Within Compare Securities, when you load a new compare list, the name of the list will remain in the Save As input box so that any changes can be saved or overwritten. If you want to save as a different list, you can simply update the name and then save it as a new list. In the query section within the NGEN Markets terminal, you can now sort the columns in the resultant fund list. You can easily do that in the check results once you have loaded your query, and you can easily sort the column based on the category, the parameters you have chosen, and the fund name as well. Within the query section, you can now also get all the columns including the query parameter columns in the Excel download itself. So all you need to do is just click on this download this table, and once you have downloaded, you can now see all the parameters including in the query section. The risk versus return tab in both portfolio analytics and compare section now provide an Excel download options for all the data on the chart. So all you can do is click on this Excel icon and your data will be downloaded in an Excel format. Furthermore, you can also take a look towards this within the compare section where you can see an Excel based downloadable tab which will now show the data of risk and return when it is downloaded in a CSV format. The download option for funds, portfolios and portfolio comparison will now apply your selected base color to all the left panel of all the pages in the PPT. You can download this PPT from here, and you can select such a setting within the colors section, and here you can change the base color. Now please try to select a darker color as the text over this area will always be white. SIP tool in the NGEN Markets terminal now also lets you run an SIP analysis on category average historical data. So what you can do is you can search for any particular categories within equity or debt mutual fund, and once you have done that, you can run the category averages monthly SIP analysis in the SIP tool. The drawdown analysis for portfolios and individual securities now lets you download worst 10 drawdowns and their recoveries in an Excel format. So what you need to do is you can head to the drawdowns tab in any particular set of portfolio or individual securities, and you can click on this Excel button. Once you have downloaded it, you can now see the data is being downloaded in an Excel format. Of the NGEN Markets terminal, the Excel downloads now include the ISIN code for funds and stock. So what you can do is you can head towards any of your client in the RTA connection, click on this download this client's holding in Excel, and once you have downloaded it, you can see the data sets which will include the ISINs for every single securities, including the funds, and stocks. Overlap screenshots in the NGEN Markets terminal are now larger as a result of removing the left-hand panel showing the common holdings across all securities. So all you can do is you can screenshot it, and once you're done, you can now see the position overlap, which is the total overlap matrix in the NGEN Markets. In the client section, when we look towards RTA connection, for multiple ARN holders, will now show the consolidated view of the ARNs by default. You can easily toggle the consolidated view within singular ARN in the NGEN Markets terminal within the client section. Securities. Anything that is not a fund or a stock will load as a different color in the main list for clarity. So as you can see here in the list, you can see the different color for indices and category averages, and you can see the different color which is in white for the funds and the stock. Now let's talk about the updated compare section. Now in the section of calendar years, we have now fixed a bug where some of the older years in the column heads were not showing. Furthermore, in the compare securities, you can now switch the auto-complete search between regular and the direct while searching for new funds and adding them into the compare list. So for an example, if we add one of the fund here, you can now see that these fund is now been added based on the selection you've made on regular or direct.